Shakur finna fuck T.O. up. I don't know. I'm telling you, T.O. better wake the fuck up. I mean, at the end of the day...
You think it's competitive, though? It's close?
Yeah, I think it can be competitive.
Yeah.
You know, T.O. is real gifted. Shakur is real defensive. And, you know, I feel like when a fight is super defensive, it could play against you also, you know, because if you go in there trying to be really defensive.
One of Teofimo Lopez's key attributes is how quickly he's able to close the distance and land his punches. Look at how far out he starts. Coming in just behind a 1-2, he can take it to the body or go upstairs.
Teofimo Lopez is being hyped as one of boxing's most dangerous stars right now, but IBF title holder Richardson Hitchins sees a very different outcome unfolding, warning that what's coming isn't a war but a precise dismantling. As anticipation builds for the January 31st clash at Madison Square Garden, Hitchins delivers a sharp, unemotional message, and it's not coming from trash talk or rivalry. It's coming from experience, from someone who has logged more rounds with Shakur Stevenson than anyone alive. From his perspective, this matchup isn't competitive at all, not a coin flip, but a clear gap in ring intelligence, and he's convinced Lopez is heading toward a harsh lesson under the brightest lights for a simple reason. Raw physical gifts mean nothing when you're trying to hit something you can't touch.
Do you see it as a difficult fight? You know, more difficult than Zepeda, more difficult than the title fights you've been involved in?
It's hard to say without being in the ring with somebody. You never know how good somebody actually is until you get in the ring, or how bad they actually is until you get in the ring with them. So come fight night, we'll figure out whether he's better than Zepeda or more of a challenge than Zepeda. I know Zepeda's style.
Don't try me.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro, like, you ain't fight a fighter with that kind of style yet to know, like, whether he's, you know, that's all.
The relationship between Hitchins and Stevenson stands out in boxing, but it was born from tension, not admiration. When they were both 13 and coming up in the amateur ranks, there was real animosity between them, with Shakur and his circle often clowning Hitchins for being inexperienced since Richardson picked up the sport later than most. That hostility lasted until one exhausting night at a gym, killing time before a 4 a.m. flight to a national tournament in Nevada. With no sleep and nowhere to go, the two teenagers chose to handle their issues the only way they knew how, by getting in the ring together. They sparred while the rest of the world was asleep, and that session flipped everything. From that point forward, they moved as one, pushing each other daily and evolving side by side into elite fighters. So when Hitchins talks about Stevenson's skill level, it's not speculation or hype, it's insight built from countless rounds of shared work that Teofimo has never been part of.
A lot of people don't know this story. Me and Shakur became really close at a young age. I think I was about 13.
Yeah.
And me and him started off beefing at first. Because I was one of the guys that was like, I started boxing a little later than guys like Shakur. I started boxing like 12.
Okay.
Shakur and them guys was boxing like at 5, 7 years old.
Yeah.
So I used to talk a lot of shit, even though I was green. And Shakur always used to make fun of me like, yo, you green, you green, you green. That used to be his favorite word to say.
Yeah.
And one day the Jersey team was going to the Junior Golden Glove Nationals, and nobody from the New York team was going. And I was real cool with Wally. And I had a friend of mine that said they could only drop me off to the airport at like 10 at night. And I'm like, I'm not gonna wait at the airport from 10 at night to 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I asked Wally, can I sleep in a boxing gym? And Wally was like, yeah, you can. And I hear Shakur in the background, like, I'll stay with him in the boxing gym. I'll stay over the boxing gym with him.
That's cool.
So we slept at the boxing gym. We sparred that night. We sparred like 3, 4 in the morning before the flight. We got to Mesquite, Nevada. Ever since that trip, we've been like inseparable ever since. We've been real close friends, always training together, always sparring together, always talking together, hanging out together. He sleep over my house, I sleep over his house. We've been close ever since like, I want to say like 14, 15.
Wow.
We met at like 13. We met like at 12, 13.
Wow, that's crazy. And then steel sharpens steel. So you got better, you learned, he learned, you guys helped each other, you know.
Yeah, he improved like my boxing skills a lot, because being in the ring with him over and over, seeing different things he was doing, and you know, I was already super talented and gifted in myself, so I just needed that extra experience from different guys to get to that next level, and yeah, that was all she wrote.
Teofimo Lopez has tried to explain the dominance of Hitchins and Stevenson by suggesting it's nothing more than shared gym comfort, arguing they only appear exceptional because they've grown used to each other's movements and rhythms. Hitchins dismisses that idea entirely, seeing it as an excuse fighters lean on when they realize they can't close the technical distance. From his perspective, familiarity plays a role, but what truly separates them goes far beyond repetition, rooted in a deep command of range, timing, and defensive awareness, areas where Teofimo has repeatedly fallen short over the years. Hitchins believes Lopez is confusing elite-level understanding with routine sparring familiarity, and that misunderstanding is precisely what leaves him exposed.
He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him. So in 2 weeks, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Teo is a 3.5.
And Teo, if you were supposed to somehow win, nigga, fight me. Fight me. That's the fight that I want. Fight me. I've been calling for that fight. People say I'm clout chasing, I'm saying names. Like I said, when I got out the ring with George Kambosos, I seen Teo right there in the crowd. That was supposed to be the fight. We were supposed to be fighting. We were supposed to be make it happen next week.
Looking at Teofimo's recent outings, there's a clear trend that lines up with what Hitchins has been saying, and it's not flattering. Whenever Lopez runs into a southpaw who fights off the back foot or someone who relies on precision counters, the explosiveness fades fast. Against Sandor Martin, he appeared visibly irritated and out of ideas, swinging at space and chasing a target that never stayed put. The same issues showed up versus Jermaine Ortiz. About many observers felt easily could have gone the other way. Hitchins views those fights as a roadmap, pointing out that if boxers like Martin and Ortiz, neither close to Shakur's caliber, were able to slow Teofimo down and expose his decision-making, the real question is what unfolds when he's matched with a once-in-a-generation defender who thrives in those exact situations.
A lot of people don't know this story. Me and Shakur became really close at a young age. I think I was about 13.
Yeah.
And me and him started off beefing at first. Because I was one of the guys that was like, I started boxing a little later than guys like Shakur. I started boxing like 12.
Okay.
Shakur and them guys was boxing like at 5, 7 years old.
Yeah.
So I used to talk a lot of shit, even though I was green. And Shakur always used to make fun of me like, yo, you green, you green, you green. That used to be his favorite word to say.
Yeah.
And one day the Jersey team was going to the Junior Golden Glove Nationals, and nobody from the New York team was going. And I was real cool with Wally. And I had a friend of mine that said they could only drop me off to the airport at like 10 at night. And I'm like, I'm not gonna wait at the airport from 10 at night to 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I asked Wally, can I sleep in a boxing gym? And Wally was like, yeah, you can. And I hear Shakur in the background like, I'll stay with him in the boxing gym. I'll stay over the boxing gym with him.
That's cool.
So we slept at the boxing gym. We sparred that night. We sparred like 3, 4 in the morning before the flight. We got to Mesquite, Nevada. Ever since that trip, we've been like inseparable ever since. We've been real close friends, always training together, always sparring together, always talking together, hanging out together. He sleep over my house, I sleep over his house. We've been close ever since like, I want to say like 14, 15. Wow. We met at like 13. We met like at 12, 13.
Wow, that's crazy. And then steel sharpens steel. So you got better, you learned, he learned. You guys helped each other, you know.
Yeah, he improved like my boxing skills a lot because being in the ring with him over and over, seeing different things he was doing, and you know I was already super talented and gifted myself, so I just needed that extra experience from different guys to get to that next level. And yeah, that was all she wrote, basically.
Teofimo Lopez has tried to downplay what makes Hitchins and Stevenson so effective by suggesting their dominance comes from spending too much time in the same gym, arguing they shine only because they're overly familiar with each other's patterns. Hitchins completely rejects that explanation, viewing it as a mental shield fighters use when they accept they can't match the skill in front of them. He acknowledges they recognize each other's habits, but says what separates them operates on a much higher level, built on precise control of space, sharp timing, and elite defensive awareness, areas where Teofimo has consistently shown limitations. According to Hitchins, Lopez is confusing true technical excellence with simple repetition, and that misunderstanding is the exact flaw that leaves him open to being picked apart.
He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him. So in 2 weeks, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Teo is a 3.5.
Teo, if you were supposed to somehow win, nigga, fight me.
Exactly,
That's the fight that I want. Fight me. I've been calling for that fight. People say I'm clout chasing, I'm saying names. Like I said, when I got out the ring with George Kambosos, I seen Teo right there in the crowd. That was supposed to be the fight. We were supposed to be fighting. We were supposed to be make it happen next week.
When you examine Teofimo's recent fights, a clear and uncomfortable pattern shows up that backs Hitchins' argument completely. Anytime Lopez runs into a southpaw who stays defensively responsible or a fighter who lives off sharp counters, his explosiveness fades and the chaos never arrives. That played out against Sandor Martin, where Teofimo looked irritated, unsure, and stuck throwing at air with no answers. It surfaced again versus Jermaine Ortiz, a matchup many felt he escaped rather than controlled. Hitchins views those bouts as a perfect case study, pointing out that if fighters like Martin and Ortiz, who aren't remotely on Shakur's level, could slow Teofimo down and expose his decision-making, the danger multiplies when he faces someone operating at a completely different tier. Having watched Stevenson develop up close, Hitchins has seen him grow into what he considers the most complete defensive fighter and counterpuncher in the sport today. And when he compares that discipline and precision to the openings in Teofimo's game, he doesn't see small flaws. He sees massive gaps waiting to be exploited.
If you were supposed to somehow win, nigga, fight me. Fight
Exactly,
me. That's
exactly.
the fight that I want. Fight me. I've been calling for that fight. People say I'm clout chasing, I'm saying names. Like I said, when I got out the ring with George Kambosos, I seen Teo right there in the crowd. That was supposed to be the fight we were supposed to be fighting. We were supposed to be make it happen next week.
He was there. He was there at Madison Square Garden. You called out him and Devin.
Exactly, which was me and Teofimo. We were supposed to make the fight happen. We got the same manager. But that was the fight that we was aligning to make happen. And, you know, Shakur jumped in there and kind of, intercepted my shit. But it's cool, though. If Teo get the job done, I'm here, which we...
The tension between Hitchins and Lopez has moved far beyond the ring and turned ugly online, with Hitchins openly unloading on Teofimo during Instagram live sessions and on X, labeling him as overrated and a soft touch. From Hitchins' standpoint, Lopez avoids matchups that demand real technical depth, choosing name recognition and attention over opponents who present serious stylistic danger. That hostility gives extra weight to his warning, because he's not simply forecasting a defeat, he's waiting for the moment he believes the long-standing criticism finally becomes undeniable. In his eyes, Teofimo is a fighter whose flaws have been masked by friendly scorecards and flashy athletic moments, while he places himself and Shakur firmly in a separate category, one defined by discipline, precision, and true technical mastery rather than spectacle.
Favorite. If Teo was to win, what does he got to do? He has the championship belt. Shakur has to take that from him, right?
Right.
So if Teo was to win, what would he have to do to get that? You know, what are some of the keys to victory to beat a fighter like Shakur, not just Shakur? You know.
I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it.
All right. Fair enough.
Teo's been doing his whole life, so
yeah.
I think he's training with Mike Tyson, old trainer. I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So. I forgot the guy's name. I know his name, but it's
Ronnie Shields?
Not Ronnie Shields.
Okay.
But Stacy McKinley, I think.
Stacy McKinley. Okay.
Is that the guy?
I think I'm sure.
But yeah, but they said they have a game plan. They said they know how they're gonna beat Shakur. We'll see, man. Teofimo's a tremendous fighter at the end of the day. I gotta give ultimate respect to him because he is one of the most decorated young fighters in the sport today. And it's not gonna be an easy task for Shakur, but I just feel like Shakur, when it comes to boxing, Teofimo's not better than him, so it is what it is.
Definitely. Well, that's still a fight that you could have in the future with Teofimo, you know, and obviously Devin Haney. I know you sparred with Devin Haney. What was that work like, you sparring with Devin Haney? You know him for so long, right?
Oh, it was great work, man. We spoke about the sparring numerous times. Devin is a great fighter. And listen, I just want my opportunity with these guys. They're the biggest names, the biggest and the hardest fights in the sport. And I feel like I'm in my prime, and I feel like the boxing fans deserve to see some of the best boxers in the world square off. And I'm calling for it, and eventually it'll happen. I feel like this year, 2026, it's time to make the big fights happen.
There may be more behind Hitchins' warning than concern alone, because while he expects Shakur to dismantle Teofimo, he's also mapping out his own rise to the top. With a fight against Oscar Duarte scheduled for February 21st, Hitchins is staying focused, but his real target is control of the 140-pound division. He's been clear that if Lopez somehow pulls off an upset, he wants that opportunity next. In Hitchins' mind, he surpasses Devin Haney across the board and sees Teofimo as an opponent he could break down without much trouble. By putting this message out now, he's drawing a line in advance, believing one way or another the illusion ends. Either Shakur shuts it down on January 31st, or Hitchins steps in to finish the job himself soon after.
Shakur is that dude. Shakur's nobody to play with. You know what I mean? Shakur got every move in the world, but so do Theo. Theo's not a guy that, just sit there and, pedal around. He's acrobatic, he can flip, he can move, He got good legs, he got good power, he can switch up. So that's going to be an interesting fight, very interesting.
But they got Shakur as a 3.5-1 favorite. It got to be a lot closer than that, right? They're both in their prime.
Yeah, I don't see him having that much on Theo. I mean, Shakur's a hell of a fighter, But he's in there. He's in there with a fighter now. He's in there with a real dude. You know what I mean? And they gotta watch it. They gotta be careful. Don't get too confident because Theo can punch. He can move. Theo can do it all. So that's why I say he got to watch himself in that fight, you know. So also Shakur got all the moves, you know what I mean? But we're gonna see how that goes.
But how, you know, being that Shakur's the favorite, how can Teo get it done? You know, how's he gonna? Because he's the champion. Shakur has to come to him to take the belt. How does he get it done?
You got to back him up.
You got to back him up the whole time. Like the Zepeda fight, like the Shakur Zepeda fight.
No, you got to be more slicker.
More slicker.
You got to be slick. Going in, touching, feint, touch him, hook, roll, stay close to him, shoot to the body. Make Shakur get into a tussle. Bang, make him tussle, make him bang with him. Don't let, when he roll, you got to roll with him. You know what I'm saying? Touch him. But yo, Shakur slick, you know, Shakur could, you know, roll, but Shakur tie you up and spin you. I mean, the fight is like that with me.
It's close.
It's close. That fight gonna be a technical fight. You know what I mean? It ain't like Shakur gonna run over Theo, no. You know, if Theo really pours it on, he can give Shakur a problem. But then on the same token, Shakur can outbox him all day. And if, you know, if he let that happen, if he tries to box with Shakur, he gonna lose. Put it that way.
So you gotta make it dirty. You gotta get in
not
close.
Dirty. You gotta just stay on top of him.
Yeah.
He can't. So he can't let Shakur do. It's very simple. If Shakur does it. If he does it, then.
As January 31st at Madison Square Garden draws near, all eyes are on whether Teofimo Lopez can adjust or if Hitchins' prediction comes true. This fight isn't just about a belt, it's a showdown of styles. On one side, there's Teofimo's raw, unpredictable explosiveness. On the other, Shakur Stevenson's cold, surgical precision, a method even he admits can neutralize anyone who depends on aggression. If Hitchins' assessment holds, we won't witness a chaotic brawl. Instead, it could be a calculated display where one fighter swings at shadows for 12 rounds while the other racks up points effortlessly. It raises a tough question for fans. Is elite technical defense dull, or is it simply brilliance most fighters and viewers can't fully grasp? The answer is yours to decide. Drop your predictions in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss upcoming videos. Share your thoughts below, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.